All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the One-on-One podcast. I think we're in season four. Yeah, I think
Wow.
it's wild. We started in 2022, so we are over 3 years running, which is really exciting. It's exciting to be back. I am joined by my co-host, Kathy Baker. Kathy, how are you? It's been a while.
Not much. It's my sad time of year because there are not a lot of sports because I don't watch baseball.
Oh, and you're not an NBA fan, right? You're college basketball.
You know what? I do watch the playoffs, but because it's like the NBA doesn't really play until the playoffs.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
true. So if you guys haven't been able to tell already, it's a little bit quieter. There's someone missing from our little trio. My good friend and coworker, Ryan Esteban, has moved on to greater pastures, I guess you could say. But our guest, I know you want to say something a little special about him. Our guest, who you guys know very well, she's been on the podcast. I don't know. I think you're one of our most reoccurring guests. She's now the president of the company. I think you haven't been on here since you were now president. But anyways, without further ado, it's Cory Vasquez. Cory, how are you?
I'm like the 5-time SNL host.
I know you. That's exactly what I was gonna compare it to. You're like the Steve Martin of this podcast.
We've worked together too long, and you're my Tina Fey. Yeah, Ryan, our team member, our beloved team member, we've had him forever. He's fine. He just
Everything's great with Ryan.
Everything's great. He found a great new opportunity position closer to his family, his brand new wife, and so we were super excited for him. Very, 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 very sad to see him go because, man, this marketing team, like we always say, is small, and we've been together for a long time. But this is what we do at Realty ONE Group. We want the best for our people. So
Totally.
He found a great position. If you're out there, Ryan, we miss you.
I know. I hope you're listening right now, Ryan. I really do, because you helped create this whole thing. But we're going to continue. I mean, this season, we have some great stuff happening at the company. We have some exciting guests that are going to be coming on. But also, we really wanted to bring you on, Cory, for this first episode of the season because we are, as a company, we just celebrated our 20th anniversary on May 1st, which is really exciting. I know we were talking before we started recording, and it kind of feels like we obviously are an established brand, but we're no longer the new kids on the block. It feels like we've made a name for ourselves, and now we're in this, I know Kuba loves to say, we're in this new era, and that's really what I wanted to focus on today, Cory, is, okay, it's our 20th anniversary. That's awesome. What's now and what's next for Realty ONE Group?
And I think I love it. Like Kuba has really coined this year and years going forward as ONE, because that's what we do, is the one, our new era. And so we've spent a lot of time as a brand and as team members trying to figure out what that means to us, what that means for our franchise owners and our agents, because they're most important to us. But also what that means to us individually as team members. And so we've kind of challenged ourselves to say, like, you're right, Josh, we're not, but we still feel young. We've been around for 2 decades. Kuba launched this amazing company 20 years ago, unbreakable, used to fizzle out in the first couple of years as businesses do. Kathy, you don't have to hide that sweet cat of yours. Let him make that appearance. And he fought through those first few years, and then the first few years of franchising, and now we still feel young, but we're in 49 states, soon to be 50, and in 25 countries. We've done the work, but we also know there's so much more work to do. So, Josh, to your point, we have a lot of announcements that are going to come out this year, and we talked about it right before we got on here. Like, when do we get to make these exciting announcements? Because we have a lot of new plans on how we want to evolve. We could stay right where we are and keep doing what we're doing, but that's just not us. That's just not who we are.
I'm just sitting here thinking, and I love this conversation. And the thing that's so comfortable to me, number one, shout out to Ryan. We love Ryan and just so thrilled that not only did he have an opportunity, but he took advantage of the opportunity, which always takes courage. Yet I want to talk a little bit about who we are. And, I kind of liken it to drivers that at the beginning, we were in the car and it's kind of like, whoa, 10 and 2. And now we're putting on mascara, we're talking on the phone, we're smoking a little bit. Maybe not smoking, but we're comfortable and we're going faster. It's not that, it's just, to me, it's this level of comfort in who we are and who we continue to be and how we continue to add horsepower and strength, and what the experience of who we are is providing for our network, for opportunities to continue to open doors, to continue to provide what tomorrow's leaders need today. And the thing I love about Cuba is that Cuba will never be complacent. I read a book over the weekend about the danger of comfort and complacency in organization. I don't think we ever have to worry about that. What do y'all think?
Never.
No, Kathy, like to echo that point, the three of us were kind of hired around the same time. We've all been here for 6, 7, 8 years, and we all kind of saw, okay, we started as this like kind of small franchiser, and then it just exploded. And then the new thing was, all right, we're going to go international, and then that just exploded. And I think Cuba never, I mean, Cory, we were just on a call with him the other day. He never settles. And even before like you get to a place of complacency, he's ready for what's next. And I think now we're in this new world of, I mean, we can bring up AI every single episode, but like it's now, all right, how are we going to be integrating AI into this business? And how can we, the industry looks a little bit different than how it did a year ago. So like, how are we rolling with the punches with that? And it just always feels like we're, for lack of other words, we're a very progressive brand in that respect.
Modern, a lifestyle brand. Lifestyle to me means, when we say that about our brand, it means that we care about the people on the other end of it, right? And that's from our franchise owners to our agents. Easy to say we care, but to your point, Kathy, we're moving faster, but we're also really smart about it. And as long as you keep your eye on the prize, and there's so much distraction in this industry with, clear protection and all the commissions lawsuits and things that have happened in the last couple of years and exclusive listings, and you could really get sidelined thinking through industry things and what's going to happen next. And we just don't. Our focus is on the offices, and then our focus this year is really on the agents and what they need, because this could be a bang out year for these guys and gals. And going into next year, this year will set up what's happening next year. And I even want to say, on the franchise ownership side, those folks who are courageous and ambitious and want to open Realty ONE Group locations, we're being way smarter about that too. We're looking at those people and saying, like, this is an opportunity. If you're a top tier agent, if you're a top team lead, if you're a progressive agent, you want to own your own business, this is the time to get in now before that upswing happens. And we're here to go, to your point, Kathy, as fast as we can, but also as smart as we can. And Josh, everything AI. Don't be afraid of it. We're running straight forward into it.
A couple of things again that come to mind is, I think what keeps us focused is the 6 C's. I think we're so dedicated and we have such ownership of the why that it makes the what and the how so much easier. And because we have that focal point that we keep going back to, and everything that we do, every initiative that we offer, we make sure that it's going to come back and support that, so that our network is fully supported. And I love the fact that we, and when I say we, led by Cuba, we've never lost sight of who we serve. And that is our network. That is our ownership, and they're our agents. And we support that with lots of different tools and resources, all that come back to those 6 C's. And you're right, from upgrading and enhancing the products that we provide to make sure that AI and everything that we do amplifies that relationship and doesn't replace it. I think what I hate our industry does is create fear around any new initiative. And the one thing that we don't run from it, we run towards it and we embrace it. And we have so many brilliant people like Savag, who was behind the scenes today.
Yeah, he's behind the camera, by the way.
Yeah, who are making sure, Cory, that those steps we take are sound, and that we're staying true to who we are. And other companies don't do that.
No, and it's a really comforting feeling. For me, I know, and for you, Kathy, and you, Josh, because we have such great leadership. And when we say leadership, we kind of use that loosely. We just mean team members, right? Because there are different leaders at all levels of our organization who are leading the charge on things like recruiting new agents or AI initiatives or whatever. But I love that. I feel comfortable being in this environment, in this one family, more than I ever have before. And that speaks highly. I want to go back to what you said, Kathy, about the 6 C's have changed for me in the last couple of years. And I just want to say why, when Josh and I started in the marketing department, Josh, there were words and graphics and doodles flying everywhere. And I don't know about you, Josh, but I could not get a handle on who we were and what we were doing and who. No,
it was Cuba's. I know Cuba's not listening right now, so I'm just going to say it, but it was like black and gold vomit for me. Like it was when I started. It was like, we have to tone this down. We do. Yeah.
And we did. And we wanted to tone it down because we recognize that there's so much meaning in what we say.
Yeah, at the core of it. You're right.
Yeah. And so that's the modernization that we're talking about with our new era. And the 6 C's have changed for me in the last couple of years, because I realize now that they're not all 6 C's to all of us. they are our 6 C's, but I always say this, one or two always floats to the top for
Totally.
different people. And the fact that we've created 6 of them that have different meanings and mean something different to each one of us in Realty ONE Group is exceptional. I don't think I've seen that. I've written many a mission statement in my life, many a purpose and a value statement. I've never really seen anything like the 6 C's.
I agree. I think it's, you can, if you work for every brand has their own purpose and their own manifesto and their own values and their own whatever, but it's, I've probably said I drank the Kool-Aid 100 times on this podcast, but we really do practice what we preach. And that's something to be proud of at a brand that you work at. Also, Savag, you have a microphone if you want to say anything.
You guys are doing such a great job.
He'll jump in and correct us where he needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing, and I want the listeners to really think about this for a moment, because the one thing that I love about the company is everyone has a voice, and we don't always hear from you guys enough. And we want to hear the good. We want to hear, what do you need more of? What do you need less of? And speak up to do that. Email coaching@realtyonegroup.com and let us hear from you. The thing I love, Cory, about what Kuba designed, and I don't know if it was intentional or just not, but the circle and what the circle represents to me. You spoke about leadership. The thing the circle represents is no one's in front, no one's behind. When you form a circle, you're shoulder to shoulder, and there's a contribution, and everyone's face can be seen. And that's so important to me in this organization, is that, there's not a first and a second. And we definitely want the membership to feel that way. Regardless of your market size, regardless of your office size, regardless of your production, the seed that attracted you, we want to continue to develop. And we don't want to take that for granted.
And I want to just shout out Josh. I don't know if Josh has ever been shouted out, because this podcast was your concept from the beginning. And Josh and I were working together, and he's like, we really should do a podcast. And I don't know how many times we said that, Josh. We really should. We really should.
Yeah.
And finally one day, I had a heart to heart with Josh, and I was like, Josh, you should go do this. Like, obviously he's got the face for TV. He's got the commentator voice. He's got the debonair to carry a podcast. No, but Josh, you were like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I love the kind of no boundaries aspect of that circle that Kuba's created, of like, man, if you can do it, be successful at it, we're here cheering you on. And Savag's going to jump in, and I'm going to jump in. We're going to do whatever we can.
Yeah. I mean, I always say, when I talk about there's always things that people don't like about their job, but when I talk about the things that I love about my job, which is 95% of the things, it's the creative freedom that I was given since day one, when I started here. And Kuba, we always joke that like Kuba's our team's creative director, because one of the things that he cares about most is brand. And so it's people think that that's scary, and I used to think it was scary too, but it's actually kind of awesome, because he respects this department so much and gives us the freedom to run with things. Especially in this industry, you can't say that about other brands and other marketing teams. And so for me, that's definitely it. But on the actual industry side of things, Cory, I'm curious, without being like too salesy, we're in this transitional phase with what's going to happen in this industry. And I want to know, if you're an agent, and there's a lot of agents jumping ship from these bigger box brokerages, and we've been on calls with other people saying like Realty ONE Group is this kind of like really nice middle ground for a lot of people. Like, can you maybe emphasize that a little bit more? Like, how are we different from a traditional big box brokerage?
Well, and I don't want to tie it into a bow too quickly, Josh, but for what you just said, you've had the creative freedom as a team member at Realty ONE Group, but we want that to happen for our franchise owners and agents.
Yeah.
Interesting. One of the jobs, or one of the roles that I have now as president, is traveling a lot more. And I get to see a lot of folks face to face and hear face to face, Kathy, to your point, these different smaller markets, bigger markets, top agents, mid-tier agents, telling me all the things. And always what bubbles up is culture, which I always find is interesting. But that's one of the biggest C's for people, is just this feeling of being involved and needed and loved, and participate in whichever way you want. You don't have to be at the office every day to fill the culture of your office, number one. But number two, the freedom. We're just talking about. Everybody, I think this is the opportunity for everyone in Realty ONE Group to have their new era. What does your one new era look like now for you? And I had an agent last week in Las Vegas say, I'm going to really focus in on my One Locks certification and One Locks. I haven't used it enough. It's something I'm super proud of. I just got a 1.5 million listing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And I said, okay, tell me what else you need from One Locks, because we're always working on luxury and soon to be. I love it when I thumbs up myself. and some other great initiatives. But that's her new era. And so, Kathy, you said it. I don't know if Kuba means to do this, but this is what he does. He created our new era as something for our team to focus on how to keep modernizing this company and growing this company. But what it's done is trickle down to what are our owners? What are their new eras going to look like? I want to have 30 more agents in this office. What do the agents want to do? I want to be commercial. I want to be luxury. I'm going to do 10 more transactions this year. That's my one new era, our new era. So, and you have the freedom to do that. I always say, because it's one of the things I love most about Realty ONE Group, the office in Boise looks very different from the office in Miami, looks very different from the office in Rhode Island, because you can. In this brand, you can.
Yeah.
And it creates an environment. I mean, this business is hard. I mean, let's just be honest, it's really shitty and really hard right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what we've all helped create is the vibe and the comfort, the haven of, man, business is hard. Deals are hard. I talk to top producers that tell me I'm having to put the same property under contract 2 and 3 times to get it to close. And we recognize that. We are listening. We have a lot of real estate experience. We are making decisions to impact you based on Wall Street, not Main Street. I mean, Main Street, not Wall Street. We're able to come in and say, what do you need? And that's why we want to hear from you. What do you need to close more deals? And is it a luxury designation? Is it a commercial division? Is it more help with AI? What is it to help you amplify the business and not be muddled down in frustration and fear? I think there's still a lot of fear.
I think, Kathy, you bring up a great point. And I know, Cory, you mentioned at the very beginning, we have a lot of exciting updates, some that we can't share a lot of information on yet. If there's anything that we maybe can share, we can talk about it now. Kathy, I know I really want to plug, and I've done it a couple times, but your primetime sessions are a phenomenal way for our network to basically just, have their business streamlined and follow your primetime throughout the year. And so maybe if you want to talk about that for 5-10 seconds. And then Cory, if you have anything that you can share that people would be excited about that we are allowed to talk about.
We are so excited, and the viewers know I don't get a lot of information because they know I'll spill it. So I won't tell you more than I know. And if I do, I'll warn you. We're really excited with the traction that we've gained with One Prime Time. It was designed for multiple users, multiple ways to learn. If you want to do it in the comfort of your home, through YouTube, in a recording, you can absolutely do that. If you want to join a watch party in your office, we've set it up for the brokers to host those. It is actionable learning. The one thing that we want you to get from One Prime Time is to walk away with a check mark and a way to close more transactions. So everything that we present is designed around that. Upcoming, the schedule is in One Digest on the One calendar. It will not change. Mm-hmm. It may be modified a little bit topic because the market is changing. Sure. So we have AI experts coming up. We have commercial announcements coming up. We have strategic partnerships up and coming. Mid-year, we're going to just open the hood and say, where are you? What do we need to do next? So we are constantly supporting the network in every way that we can, from affiliates to individuals, from teams to whatever you want to know. Again, it's upgrading, it's updating, it's making sure that your sales path is where you want it to be, not where someone else is directing it. So we're super excited about that. Thank you for saying that. A new LMS platform is going to be rolling out mid-June. We're going to feature that. There's been a lot of talent poured into that. We're very appreciative to the learning and development team for doing that. So we're super excited to see what kind of opportunities that's going to provide with on-demand learning. So super excited about everything we have.
Excuse me. And then I will say very quickly, if you guys haven't listened to our previous almost 100 episodes, we have Summit coming up in November. I don't think we've announced it on the podcast yet. We also have our Basecamp Leadership Retreat, which will be happening basically the day before Summit, also in Miami. So we're excited to see all of our broker owners there. So yeah, we have, I think in the second half of this year, Cory, we have lots of exciting things happening, lots of exciting things that we are going to be announcing. I will just say it, our team is deep in the weeds on a new com. So that's one thing that I know we'll be announcing soon. Do you have anything, Cory?
I don't think there's anything that's not being touched, tackled, or AI'd right now. I can't think of any project that's just chilling, to be fair. So every tool, every partnership, every coaching aspect, like Kathy said, the LMS, the events, we're doing Summit very differently
Yeah.
this year. Our new era, even that's going to be a different event. Still tons of fun and all the crazy and all the love, but very different because there's just not anything that we haven't been rethinking. And that's just, again, our new era. Like, how do we keep this from not plateauing and moving forward, and for our agents to grab every listing that they possibly can. So our new era.
Savag, do you have anything to add?
Come on.
I will say on the one prime time, if I'm a real estate agent with the Realty ONE Group, I'm busting through my broker's doors and watching that with them in their offices.
Me too.
And then taking the opportunity after and just having a mastermind or brainstorming or just digesting what was just talked about, what we just learned, how it can be applied in real life, because things are changing. It's always changing. And these sessions that are being put forth by Realty ONE Group and all these subject matter experts are there for a reason, to keep you ahead of the game.
And if you, for some reason, can't make Kathy and Carrie's bi-weekly call, the recordings are available on our YouTube channel. So there's really no excuse. I mean, it's a free path for your business and free learning that Kathy and Carrie have curated this program. And I mean, it's incredible. I mean, you guys have already seen some like great results from it, right, Kathy?
Yeah.
Josh, can we say too that,
Yes.
can we say more than we should say, that we believe if we have to arm wrestle him and pummel him to the ground, that Kuba will be an up and coming guest on this one-on-one podcast. He has told us he will do this. He's committed.
Yes.
Whatever we have to do.
Yeah, I'm patiently waiting. But yes, Kuba will be on this podcast. We're hoping it's not some deep fake AI version of Kuba. We hope it's the real version of Kuba, but you know, there's no promises with him. But yeah, I'm so excited that we're back. This is just, it's fun to sit down in the chair and chat with Kathy once a week and bring on new guests. You know, I hope our network is still eating up this form of content. For me personally, podcasts are the number one way for me to digest, you know, almost everything, sports, entertainment, news. And so that was our original goal with the one-on-one podcast. And we hope that everyone is still enjoying it. And if you're not, please email us and tell us what we can do differently.
Absolutely.
You
Or
guys
give
got
us
anything
ideas
else?
on special guests. We'd love to have.
Yeah, we would love that.
Absolutely.
Put it in the comments down below. Who would you like to see?
Absolutely.
And yeah, stay tuned for an exciting season for this podcast, an exciting second half of the year for the company. You'll probably hear Savag's voice of God on this podcast because he's been very helpful on the back end with helping me edit. I think that's all I got for this one. You guys got anything else?
Just grateful to both of you for doing the one-on-one podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cory, for joining us again.
Cory.